Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to the Strains. Check it out. Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I'm talking to Paul, Andy, Pete, and Greasy of The Strains. How you guys doing?
Hello. Fantastic.
Where's Pete?
Excellent. Yeah, where is Pete?
Sit on my lap.
They're not video. He's not videoing it. The video
Oh.
so we can look at
Okay.
how.
That's right. I can as long as I can hear your voice, we're good. And we've got a fan. We got Jamie Pops Van Effen, who's at his daughter's swim class, but he's here, he's listening, and he will throw in some questions, I'm sure, via the chat. So awesome to have you guys on Fans with Bands. I learned about you from my buddy, Tim Meeks, who's also an awesome photographer. I saw him, I think it was, I don't know, maybe like a month before Fuzz Fest. And he goes, "Hey man, have you ever heard the Strains?" And I'm like, "No, man." And he goes, "Dude, you've got to check that out." So then I saw you guys were playing, checked it out at Fuzz Fest, and I was like, holy shit, it's so goddamn good, man. I love that fucking raw power energy that you guys have. And from there, I went and checked out your music on Bandcamp, and you guys got a new self-titled album, correct? The Strains.
That is correct, sir.
Awesome.
The Strains, ST, self-titled.
Awesome. So how did the Strains come to be? How did you guys get together?
Well, do you want like a fictional version, or should I just be honest?
You can do whichever one you think would be fun.
I want to make it sound interesting. Well, it started off like I was pretty much done making music. I moved here from Germany, and I was kind of like, you know what, it's time to get a regular job and quit farting around with this music stuff. But this dude that worked at Chrysler hit me up because he heard my old German band, and he's like, "Dude, you got to keep making music. I could help you out. I know a drummer who happens to also work at Chrysler, and that's Andy here."
Yeah.
And he was a real this guy that helped start the band is no longer in it. He just kind of had like a very military-like approach to everything. Like, we're practicing this day and this day, and every day that we rehearse, we have to write at least one song. So we had like 26 songs in a couple months.
Shit.
And we just kind of weeded out the ones that we thought, that's not doing anything for me. And we had all these songs recorded, and I was like, what to do with them? Like, right. I recorded them myself on an 8-track with no intention of doing anything with it particularly. And I had met Pete through my friend who was in the Cult Heroes there, Nick Savage, who goes by like 6 other names, depending on what band he's in.
Hiawatha Bailey.
He plays with Hiawatha Bailey. And he was bugging out about Pete. He's like, "Well, you should take Pete that stuff to have Pete mix it."
Yeah. So
I did reach out to Pete, and I had reached out to Pete before when I was looking for a bass player, but I guess I wasn't a very good salesman or something, because I'm not really a good salesman. I let the music speak for itself. But so I called Pete up. I'm like, "Yeah, I got a band, looking to start a band. We're doing stuff, and it's kind of rock and roll and whatnot."
Right.
And that's about it, So Pete's like, "Who is this guy and why do I care?" So it ended up getting the tracks to Pete, and Pete took a liking to him. And when the original bass player had a mega meltdown and decided to quit when we still had gigs, it's like we already had a bass player, Pete, because Pete had mixed the stuff and he listened to it and he learned it like really super quick. And we were a 3-piece, but before Pete, before Pete, Greasy
came on.
Yeah, because we did that Ron
I don't
Ashton.
matter, do I?
I'm
not meeting this mountains.
No, I just had the order of things mixed up. So like when the old guy was still in the band, me, Andy, Pete, and Greasy did this Ron Ashton tribute at the Blind Pig, and we did nothing but covers.
Nice.
Like Detroit covers, like we did. We weren't allowed to do any Stooges covers because that All-Star band was doing all the Stooges covers. That was what Kim Gordon,
Jay
Jay Mascis, Mike Watt.
Oh yeah, I remember
Mark,
that. Yep.
yeah. So we opened for them, and we weren't allowed to do Stooges songs, but we did like MC5 and Sonic Rendezvous Band, and what else? Alice Cooper, Bob
Nice.
Seger, and some stuff that we were trying to do Detroit centric, but we did sneak in a couple Strains originals. So Greasy was already starting to learn the songs. So, and that went so well with Greasy that we're like, why don't, and Pete was playing bass. Our original bass player was just in the audience. He wasn't out of the band yet. And I was like, it's just so nice with these two guys.
Yeah.
Like they're like peanut butter and jelly, Pete and Greasy. So when the bass player decided that he'd had enough of my liberal ass and left, Pete just stepped right in, and it was like from there we were like having no issue running around and being cretinous rockers.
Awesome.
Off to the races.
Yeah.
Off to the races. So what was it like for you guys? I mean, as far as you mentioned like the tunes that you guys worked up originally, the 26 tunes for the album, did you record those? Did you write new music? What'd you do there?
We ended up, we took the live set basically, because from the 26 songs, we whittled it down to like 16 songs or something.
Right.
That we had in the live set. I'm consistently writing new stuff, but the album is our core material that we wrote in the beginning, and that we've been touring on, or I shouldn't say touring. Like we spent a couple years playing in, anywhere in Detroit, everywhere, all the time.
Right.
And just kind of getting, more familiar with each other. And we just, in the middle of the pandemic, we all kind of hooked up after a year of not being able to play. And I had the studio set up and we just recorded the set live.
Oh, okay, cool.
And
Awesome.
that's pretty much what that CD is.
Yeah.
Nice. Because I was going to say, it sounds live. I mean, it sounds like you guys just like went for it. So there was just you guys jamming in the studio, and that was it. Boom.
43 minutes it took.
Yeah.
I want to look at it like that, like how people spend 6 months in the fucking studio or whatever.
We sound live like we sound on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No false advertising here,
Yeah. You get what you get.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
That's what I loved about it, because when I saw you guys, I was like, holy shit, this is just like because I bought it off of Bandcamp, the digital version. I was like, fucking hey, this is the set.
Yep. It's in the same order too.
That's what I remember, because I was like, New World Order, right? The first one. Yeah.
Another thing that I forgot to mention too was that Kathy Ashton contacted Pete originally to do something at this benefit at the Blind Pig, and Pete was working with these guys, and he played me the mix that he did of them, and I'm listening to this, I'm going, holy shit, who are these guys? And he said, The Strains. And I says, why don't we use this drummer and this guitar player, man? Sound fucking great, man. And just,
Yeah.
When I heard this material too, and I've been playing around here for 50 years, but it was just in your face, at one time I said it was kind of the way I write, but it's not the way I write. I mean, he has way more influences that I have, because I'm stuck in the 60s to where he has the later influences, but it's the 60s raw power vibe, the way he writes, and it's just natural.
It is definitely that raw power, which I love. And I was curious about the songwriting, like for the music that you're working on now, is it more, I guess, what's the approach? Do you guys like just get together in the studio, rock out, come up with something? Or is it more like Paul or somebody, Andy, comes up and says, hey, I've got this tune, and you guys look at it and, give it a listen and say, oh yeah, let's tweak this and this, and I'm good to go? How does that work?
Either he just comes up with the stuff out of I mean,
out of the ether.
Out of the ether.
Yeah. Yeah,
Come down to me.
it kind of happens naturally, without the strict regimen of our old bass player. We've kind of the songwriting is kind of happenstance now. Like whoever happens to be here,
Yeah.
with whom it happens with. We've got some jams that Pete plays guitar instead of bass. We have some jams where he's playing bass instead of guitar.
Oh, wow.
Newer material. We have like Andy had to dip out for a bit for various reasons because of work, and then other friends of mine pop over, and like the drummer from the 3D Invisibles would play drums, or Nick Morocco
Yeah, Nick.
has played on a handful of songs, and Dan Durecki from Liz and the Luckouts.
Nice.
I've written a bunch of songs with him. I've written songs with Andy, and songs with Nick Savage from the Cult Heroes.
Cool.
So we essentially have in the hopper like probably another 20 some odd songs that could be split over the next few releases. But they're like, the way they were written is very quick. Like it would just be like, we show up, we just, whoever shows up, make a quick call. Hey, Nick's coming over. What are you doing? Greasy was close by. He'd show up. Pete would be over, and we would just jam something out live and record it on the spot.
Awesome.
Usually first or second go through even. And then there would be some gibberish vocals. Like I've already got some kind of random like syllables and consonants and a rough melody structure together, but the lyrics are nonsense. They're not even words.
Right.
They're just like weird sounds. And then I would listen to the weird sounds and kind of decipher what words they might sound like and make poetry out of it.
Awesome.
Story, and always true stories, because I can't write about something that I haven't done
Yeah.
or seen.
Awesome. That's very cool. And I was going to ask you about the that new music. Do you feel that it's reflective of the music that you did on the album that just came out? Is it same vein, or are you branching out, or just keeping it with the vein of raw power that you got going?
It's still the same. I've been writing kind of the same since I was like 19 years old. Not much has changed, and I'm 53 now. I think I'm still playing the same fucking guitar solo that I played.
yeah.
Awesome.
Don't learn a damn thing. Just learn how to play harder.
Have you always had that pink? It's a Les Paul, isn't it?
No, that pink Les Paul. Actually, I got from Nick Morocco. Somebody fished it out of a flooded basement. So they pulled all the parts off it and sold the parts after like putting them in an autoclave to clean all the poop off of them or whatever was in that basement. And that body sat in some chipboard case in a storage unit for a couple summers and winters, cooking and freezing and expanding and contracting until the whole guitar just went and blew apart. The entire thing blew apart. So I gave it to my friend Ron, who's completely crazy with fixing stuff. He's like some sort of genius, and he put the thing back together.
Holy shit!
The whole cap, the maple cap, popped off. He got it back on there. He put glued all the binding back in.
Oh man!
The headstock split into 3 pieces, like the wings fell off it, just like because all the moisture, the fecal matter that was in it. And that all just makes it sound better, you know. And we were going to refinish it because it kind of looked like the Les Paul that James Williamson had. Was a Sunburst custom, but because it was so wet, all the nitro finish just flaked off. Like anytime you pick it up, there would be a pile of nitro on the
like
workbench. Like it was gross, man. And you're like, what's in there? You know that there's E. coli on that guitar, in that guitar. So we're like, well, what are we going to do? This guitar is an absolute pig. So we painted it pink, like a pig.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So related back to the album, what is each of yours favorite tune to play off of that thing?
Ooh, I'll let these guys start.
Number 2,
Pete, number 2.
Yeah, what's the name of
Another
it?
Star
Another
for Pete.
Star.
Another star. All right, cool. Who wants to go next? Andy?
Going live.
Yeah. Favorite one? Probably Blacked Out again.
All right, nice.
Good ender.
Yeah.
I like
Greasy, how about
that
you?
too, though. but-
Greasy.
You know, there's some, I like all the songs on it. The Nazi Futza song.
Nazi Futza.
At one point, I was like, maybe I just heard it too much. I like every song, and maybe 4.
Song
Just 'cause-
4.
Song 4.
Song for The Last Time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, 7. Detroit.
7.
He
Let's
doesn't,
see.
he doesn't know
I
the
don't know. And I
title.
like to me, you know,
7.
I think that's,
Bottom of the ocean? I
I
think
love
is-
that one.
yeah,
That was
it's
the
like
first. That was the first one we wrote, wasn't
just
it?
a lot of albums.
I don't
You
know
know,
if
there
that
was
was
2
the
or 3
first, it was
songs
one
on
of
it.
them.
To me, every song is cool on this. You know,
I
there's
agree.
one I would want to skip past if I was, you know, listening. I'm still listening to this thing, and I'm thinking to myself, is it just me that I like this so much? Because I mean, other people's CDs and even current ones I don't listen to as much as I listen to this. Maybe because I don't own any.
I should note and give props where props are due. Disaster was partially written by our old bass player.
Oh, cool.
Like
All right.
he wrote the and then I was like, oh yeah, what's that? And then we were off to the races. My favorite song is probably The Warning, just because
There's only one left.
it's no. I don't know, because it was sort of like the song that we transitioned to this lineup with.
Yeah,
Cool.
good call.
Yeah,
Kind of
Excellent.
Alice Cooper feel.
yeah, it's kind of, it's slower and
Yeah.
dirgy and mean and
Yeah. Yeah.
ruthless.
That's a good call. What Pete said about it being Alice Cooper feel does have that. Very cool. So part of what I like to do with fans with bands is also get some fans. And I know Jamie's at a swim event with his daughter, but I wasn't sure if he had any questions he wanted to ask you guys. We'll give him a minute to type if he's going to type. And we'll come back to Jamie and see if he has a question. But I do have another question, and that is, what was the very first album you guys bought, each of you? Yeah.
Let's
and
go.
Start with Pete.
Meet the Beatles.
He
Meet the
started
Beatles.
with beat the Beatles.
Awesome.
They didn't last, but
Andy, how about you?
If I remember correct, I believe it was the Monkees.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yup.
Very nice.
I
Excellent.
would yeah, but go ahead, Paul.
The first one I bought with my own money, or the first one I got?
The first one you bought with your own money.
Kiss Alive.
Nice. Awesome. Fantastic. And Greasy, how about
For
you?
me, I had older brothers, so we had the Kings, the Beatles, the Who, all the great records. But the first one that I bought when I got out of, I always bought singles prior, but the first album was "School's Out" by Alice Cooper,
Oh, awesome.
because I somehow graduated from 8th grade, so I got that record.
Yep.
He's a nursery school dropout.
Yeah.
Kiss Alive was my first album that I bought when I got into heavier music, because I had been listening to I think my first album was Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. But then I was in 6th grade, and one of our teachers used to let us bring in albums, and somebody brought that Kiss Alive in, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I was just blown away. And so then after that, I was in the Kiss Army, had the Kiss Army, the Kiss belt buckle, posters of Gene everywhere. So yeah.
So let me ask you something. Was Gene your favorite?
Oh man. I would say it was probably a tie between Gene and Ace, because I really loved guitar, and you know, the way I still think Ace Frehley's guitar playing is fucking awesome, you know, and especially on Kiss Alive, holy shit, that guy's killing it on that thing. So I would say toss between those. I mean, you know, Gene had the blood and everything, so that was kind of an attraction. But
yeah, appealing to young children and
yeah,
the spooky.
yeah, exactly. So what was so kind of along that same line? What was the very first concert you guys went to? And we'll go in reverse.
I know mine for sure. Cobo Hall, Mad Dogs and Englishmen. Joe Cocker, Mad Dogs and Englishmen was the headliner, and Foghat was the opening band. And so that's the first band I ever saw at Cobo.
Oh my God.
And, you know, 30 years later, I get to record an album with Roger Earl playing drums and me playing with him with these other guys. And I tell him the story. He's going, oh, I remember that tour, mate, you know.
Oh my God.
A great experience.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's awesome. I love Foghat. Andy.
My first one was Tad and Soundgarden at Pine Knob.
Nice. Awesome. What do you remember what album Soundgarden that would have been?
That was, they were touring Super Unknown.
Super Unknown, yeah.
Tad was touring Inhaler.
Nice. Very nice. Paul, how about you?
The first concert I remember seeing,
Yeah.
because this is going to be a little convoluted, because when I was a teenager, I drank a lot, like a lot. So, and I was often going to this club called the Jockey Club in Newport, Kentucky. I lived in Cincinnati then. And the first band that I remember seeing, like I might've seen some local stuff,
Yeah.
but I wasn't particularly there for the music. I was there to, you know, mingle and meet other kids and drink, you know, underage in an adult bar,
Right.
in a very seedy town. The first band that I like decidedly went to see the band would have been Black Flag in 1984.
Oh shit. Oh man. That would have been awesome.
It was so good. At that point, I was like, I got to do that. I have to do that.
Holy crap. Was Henry in the band then? I
Yes.
think so. Yeah. I read that book, Get Into the Van, and I was like, what the hell? It was, you know, he was living in a doghouse in between tours. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That guy.
He was animalistic then, and that's kind of what, you know, not just like I remember distinctly I was focused on the guitar player because I wanted to play guitar. I was never really interested in being a singer, and still not really that interested in it. It just happens to be that I do it. And what struck me was that, you know, Henry's just standing up there. He wasn't all like buff like he is, or was like later. He was kind of skinny but svelte, you know, and sweaty as fuck, in a pair of looked like swimming, like short swimming nylon swimming trunks, sweating his ass off. And this club in Newport tended to have like very seedy night life people coming in like that. You know, you wouldn't, you'd have the kids run around with mohawks and skinhead kids, but then you'd also have like this element of like hillbilly prostitutes coming into the club. And there was this woman that jumped on stage and it looked like she had nothing to do with punk rock, just like kind of dressed in like didn't the way she was dressed, you knew that she wasn't into punk rock, but she was just in the club drunk.
Right.
And thought that, you know, how interesting is this? There's this guy up there half naked. I'm going to go dance with him. And he just grabbed her by the face. And when she jumped up on the stage and just like not violently, he just like shoved her off the stage by her face. But like not in an aggressive way. It was just
just like
Oh,
lady,
friendly.
move off. Right.
Like, hey, lady, you're in my space, kind of way.
Right.
But,
Right.
like,
You
he
need to
didn't
move
punch
back.
He didn't hurt her. Like, he just kind of like, just grabbed her by the face, like, and shoved her off the stage, and she loved it. And I was like, how could he do that? Not
Oh,
get
man.
beat up, whatever. It was just so weird.
That's
Like
crazy.
I must have been like, I don't know, 14 or something. So I was
Awesome.
pretty shocked. At that club, you could get in just by, if you tried to get in through the front door, they wouldn't let you in. So you go to the back door, and there was a big dude back there. He'd be like, if the cops come, leave the same way you came in. And that's,
That's
that's all.
how it works.
Greasy.
Greasy, how about you, man?
The first like concert I went to at a Cobo Hall or something, or just the first like live
First time you saw like a band live.
Chubby Checker
Nice.
at Eastland Mall.
All right.
Really?
Outside, they would have concerts out there. They'd have Chubby Checker, and they had the second one was Buddy Rich's big band.
Oh man, holy shit.
So it was pretty wild. But the first one that ain't much I remember because we were on acid. Pure C at Cobo Hall in the last row for Humble Pie,
Oh,
and the postage just the stage looked like a postage stamp.
yeah.
You could hear it, but
Yeah.
and then we tried to get over to Canada that night. 6 of us in a 1960 Lincoln, 59 Lincoln with this guy had 2 ounces of weed on him. Got busted. So
Oh my god.
they wouldn't let us in, and this guy did, I don't know, 3 months in jail or something.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
That was my first concert, real concert, I guess.
Oh man. That's a good experience.
Not to put Chubby Checker down.
Yeah, I just saw a picture of him, man, with this girl Rika, who's I don't know what she does. She's really heavy in the rock scene and all around the country. I'm exactly like I said, not sure, but she took a picture with him. He's fucking 80. He looked great.
Yeah.
What? I don't know. I just saw his face.
Yeah,
Did he have a chubby face?
No, not really. He looked like I don't know. He looked like he was 70.
yeah. He's still doing it.
80.
Yeah.
Maybe he looked 60. I don't know.
Like Jamie dipped out.
Yeah, he did, but he did leave a question, and that was, what's everyone's favorite current local act?
Ooh.
Ooh, it's going to cause problems later, I'm sure.
He did that on
He
purpose.
did. He's like, come on, go. So,
All right.
Paul, we'll start with you.
No. Let me see what this guy say first.
All right, Pete.
I don't know, maybe Cat Lung.
Cat Lung from Pete.
All right, cool. Andy.
I got to start out that I like quite a few that I've seen. One that comes to mind that I really like right now is Milk Bath.
Milk Bath. Oh, I've heard about those guys, but I have not listened to them yet. So I'll have to check.
But there are others. I could go on.
Oh, I know. Me too. That's a totally unfair question.
It's problematic. Greasy, what you got?
Yeah,
Can't remember their name.
Ask me, and I could probably help you remember.
They opened for Jack White.
The Stools.
No, not the Stools. Fuck, I don't know. It's a kind of corny name for the band. Fuck, I can't remember.
Oh, I know
They
what you're talking
They just
about.
played at the Cobra. No, they did at the Cobra thing for.
I know who you're talking about. What's her damn name?
Oh yeah, Sugar Tradition.
Sugar Tradition from
Yeah.
Greasy.
All right, Sugar Tradition. Cool.
Yeah, they're fun, high energy rock band drummers. I mean, each member gives 100%.
Nice.
I
Nice.
think. So, but there is so many other great bands, student bands that play with us. Always, I mean, in your face, fucking hard hitting. Maybe just because these kids are young, it's not like I got a thing against young boys, but it's just cool to see that breed of musician and kids so young trying to carry on. I don't know, the kind of early Who, British mod,
Yeah.
you know.
Cool.
All right.
Paul, how about you?
Oh shit! I thought I use a lot of it because I got too many. I've got to give props to.
And you're in the bands too, so
I dig High Totals. They're
good.
yeah.
I mean, I'd like to name a bunch of bands.
Yeah.
There are a bunch.
Winds of Neptune.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot about
What's
them
Chuck
too.
Burns' band's name that we played with? They're fucking
There's
great.
so many good bands right now, and there's all these venues,
I know.
or all these festivals like around town and up north and shit. It's all blues related or tribute.
Bill Cozy's Rising Force. Super.
Oh yeah, those guys. Fucking
I can just go on and on.
Yeah.
You know.
There
I
needs
know.
shows like with 6 or 7 local bands on it.
Detroit
like
442.
Yeah.
442. Yep. It's totally an unfair question because there's so many great, there's just a ton of great music. When I hear somebody say like, there's nothing, there's no rock and roll or
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just
no, it's good. Yeah, it's good. But when somebody says like they can't find anything or they don't want to go out because there's nothing to listen to, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
Or they're crying about the ticket prices of some national acts. It's
fuck that.
There's like 50 good bands in Detroit that you could go see, dumbass.
Yeah.
For $6. Go see it.
Yeah.
But no. Oh, they'd rather go blow their wad at what's the name of that huge? I don't go to huge shows.
Oh, the Little Caesar Arena.
Hey, me shows here.
Yeah, Little Caesars, and then they bellyache about the ticket prices. Just shut up already.
Yeah.
Like these national bands all used to be local bands. Just FYI.
Yeah, no shit. Just go see some of these awesome bands. They're fantastic. Misho, can you hear us?
Can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Hey, did you have any so thanks for being on, and did you have any questions for the Strains?
Well, I've got a couple questions actually. First,
go for it.
Yeah. So what are the other things that you guys are into? What do you guys like? I'll start with Andy.
What do you like? Like what do you mean?
He's setting me up for this. This is my best friend. I like big melons.
Awesome.
And that's an inside joke. I'm sorry. I'm not.
You just offended a lot of people.
The second question is, and my apologies if you guys had had connectivity issues, but if you wasn't able to join until now. But as far as the shows in Europe, is that still standing? And is there a roster of what dates you guys are going to be attending in Europe?
Yeah, there is a Europe tour coming up, and I will tell you about it right now. Okay. So it starts on December 8th in Berlin, and then from Berlin we go to Frankfurt. Then we make a long ass drive to France from Frankfurt, and I should say we're playing Berlin at the Wild at Heart, Frankfurt at the Drei Königskeller, in France in Ploua at Les Barbes, and then France in Nantes at the Shelter, then at Périgueux, France. Then we've got like some stuff is still getting plotted out in France. We've got a date that's not covered yet. Then Paris on the 14th. The 15th will probably be The Hague in Holland.
Oh, nice.
The 16th in Belgium. I think it's in Brussels. That date, see, the thing that messes me up is this date just got changed today. So, like, they wanted us in Belgium. We were going to play Luxembourg on the 15th, and I was excited about that, but it's a Thursday. So the promoter's like, look, we can get a better deal in Belgium on the Friday. So they switched us to a bigger venue in Belgium. I think it's in Brussels, but I can't be sure because she didn't tell me. She sent me a website. I was at work. I didn't see which city it was in, but Belgium's not really huge. So wherever it is, I'm sure it's on the way. And then we're buttoning up in Cologne, Germany.
Awesome.
And then we got to drive our raggedy asses all the way from Cologne to to Berlin to drop off the back line in the van and then fly home.
Holy crap. Awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. That is fantastic. And is there a follow? Sorry, I apologize for interrupting you. Is there as far as distribution, or as far as your the presence of the strains in Europe? I don't know if you can talk about that. Is there anything that perhaps with your contacts, Paul, or has the word spread about the strains over in Europe?
I would say not really. It's kind of, being an older, not so internet savvy guy that I am, like, I'm not like, we don't have, a million TikTok followers. And we're not like posting nonstop high quality videos done with drones that our daddies bought us. We've only got a couple videos, so I'm kind of counting on the legions of old faithful friends and fans from my old band to give us a fair shake.
Right. So grassroots.
Very grassroots.
Nice.
Reached out to old friends to make this happen. And it's our first time out there with this band.
We're breaking the mark, over there, sir.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere.
I mean, we can't sit around and wait for someone else to do it for us. Like we're, no one's going to come discover us. We have to make them hear us, and they will hear us.
That's going to be fantastic. I wish I was going to be there because
Me too. Man, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome. Jesus,
we need a driver, Micho. There you go. Merchandiser.
Man, I'll be the roadie, the driver, all that stuff. But unfortunately, other obligations, right? So such is life.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Hey, if we go play your old mother country, then you can come with us. If we go to Serbia.
Hey, you know what? That's great. I was going to ask you if you're going to be playing Zagreb or anywhere in Belgrade, but at any rate, I'm so excited for you guys, and best band in Detroit, The Strains. It's even if you weren't tech savvy, man, or whatever it is, it's still the best band in Detroit. And got some awesome talent in the band, and awesome songwriting and awesome music. So I wish you guys the best of luck on your tour in Europe and here stateside.
Thank you, Micho.
So Micho, I got a question for you. What's your favorite Strains tune?
Oh man, Another Star is really, really good. That one's probably the first one that I've been exposed to, and I'm somewhat of a creature of habit. The Rat Queen is always very good because it reminds me of a certain person in Paul's life. So that's really good too. As cheesy as it is, the Motor City Muscle song. Gosh, it's the name escaped me, but
Detroit City.
It's still good. It's great that you had to do what you had to do back when you played the Detroit City Muscle Festival or whatever it was. Is that still even around? Is that still a thing?
I don't think it is.
No, I think it was a one and done thing. They were talking about doing it again, but then that weird thing happened. What do they call it? The pandemic.
Yeah.
That kind of shut. So
I'm unaware of that.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what happened there. Was that last month?
I think so.
Awesome.
Nice.
Micho, did you have any other questions for those guys?
I'm good. No, good. Thanks for taking my questions. I appreciate the time and the time with the Strains.
Yeah, no problem. So, guys, what's besides the European tour, any other shows coming up like in the next few months locally, or Michigan or regionally?
Well, we're supposed to play on the 21st at Outer Limits Lounge with Service and the Zots.
Nice.
But
Friday or Saturday?
what is that? Friday or Saturday?
That's a Friday.
Friday, right. Okay.
Yeah, that's like 2 days from now.
Yeah.
Now, not to be a crybaby, but I'm just getting over double pneumonia. I don't know if I could pull it off.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I want to try to sing for 40 minutes and
Right.
possibly do something bad to my lungs, or do I want to just sit this one out?
Yeah.
It's the jury's still out.
Any,
One good thing came out of it. I quit smoking. I've been a smoker for 35 years.
oh, nice.
Not anymore.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Well, guys, I really appreciate you.
Wait, we do have more gigs. on the
Oh, yeah.
lineup.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm trying to, I'm pretty bad at
PJ's Halloween
no, that's not happening.
again.
Yeah, it's not happening again. I think December 3rd at PJ's.
December 3rd. Oh,
But it's
awesome.
not PJ's anymore. It's in Lager.
It's Lager House now, which just threw me because I saw something for Lager House. I'm like, what the fuck's that? Oh, they dropped the PJ.
Yeah.
Nice. So the 3rd, anything else like after? So then you go to Europe.
After
back.
Europe, we're going to be doing a gig at Bolero that just popped up. I think I got to double check the date on that. It's in January of next year.
Okay. Well, I'll find it and put it in the show notes.
Yeah, we play so much locally that we kind of like not intentionally backed out a little bit because ultimately when I got sick, a couple gigs had to be turned down and a couple had to be canceled.
Yeah.
But I'm back.
You're back. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on Fans with Bands. I've just got one last question. Slightly controversial, so hopefully it doesn't break up the band. But that is pepperoni or no? Shit. Pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
No
No
pineapple.
pineapple.
No.
Pineapple. Greasy?
Pete doesn't mind it. Get out.
Get out.
The problem with
Take half
pineapple
of it away.
is even if you pick it off, you can still taste it on that pizza.
You can.
I don't like fruit in my salad. I don't like salad in my fruit.
I don't like fruit in my beer.
I don't like fruit in my
Okay,
beer.
add some Parmesan.
Some things just aren't meant to be together.
That's right. Misho, how about you? Pineapple, no pineapple. No.
Oh, sorry. Geez, pineapple. I don't. I'm not one to avoid food, so I think I can take it or I can't take it. One other thing I forgot to mention, I put in the chat too, is New World Order. How could I forget about New World Order? That's another fave of mine from the Strains.
yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. That's
Hey,
probably the top of the list.
hey, Misho, and you're so diplomatic. You just answer the damn question. Like if you had a pizza, if you had two pizzas in front of you, one had pineapple, one didn't have pineapple. What are you gonna eat?
I throw caution to the wind, and I'll take the one with pineapple.
Oh.
Get out.
Oh, man. Well, thanks again, guys, for being on Fans with Bands. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
See ya.
Thanks to Paul, Andy, Pete, Greasy, Jamie, and Misho for joining me on this episode of Fans of Bands. I love the raw power of the Strains. I really enjoyed getting to know these guys and learn more about how the band formed and their approach to making music. If you are in Europe, Germany, France, and Belgium, to be specific, check out the Strains on tour starting on December 8th. I'll be honest, I wish I was riding along with them. Go get a copy of the Strains' self-titled album over on Bandcamp. You can stream it on Spotify, but buy the album. It's awesome. See the show notes for all the details and links. These are tough times for everyone in the creative industries such as music. Your support of live streaming, purchasing music, and merchandise is critical. If you can help out your local artists, please do. If you are in the Michigan area, consider following the Playing in the Detroit Area Tonight Facebook page. It is a place for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show and leaving a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.